Hi, Rolf Snobeck here. So in the last couple of weeks we've covered several topics relating to the environment and how budgets have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Last week we talked a little bit about using roof moisture surveys to properly make sure that a re-roof is planned out and an old roof isn't needlessly thrown into a landfill. So I did get a call this week where somebody said, well, you know, you've talked about those items, but what about, they've heard this concept of restoration. Can you restore an old roof? And the short answer is possibly, maybe, but timing is critical. I tell people this all the time. They come to us with a roof that's 20, 25, 30 years old. It's never been maintained, and they want to know if we can fix it. My short answer is there's not enough pixie dust in the world that we can throw at it to make it new. However, if you have a roof in that middle age range that may or may not have been maintained along the way, but it hasn't been run to fail yet, it is a candidate potentially for restoration. There's a couple of steps that you go through to make the determination. One, we do that roof moisture survey that we talked about last week. You do adhesion tests to see if we can possibly put a coating application on that if we're talking a restoration. If the scan shows minimal wet insulation and the adhesion test is positive, at that point you can go ahead and upgrade that roof, make repairs, take care of the wet insulation, get that removed, and then with proper preparation, do a complete surface prep so that a new coating that you put on will stay in place and extend the service life of the roof. The thing that's key is that those four things need to happen so that the work that you do bears fruit and lives out its intended life. Basically, there's a number of common roof coating systems that are available. There's other coatings that wouldn't necessarily fall under the heading of a protective coating. And so we're going to talk a little bit about those. There's an option of aluminum or asphalt emulsion. Those used to be the traditional coatings, as we say, back in the day when there were smooth, built-up roofs that were predominant in the market. You don't see nearly as much of that today as you did back 30 years ago, but there is still a market for it. And it is a good way to extend the life of a smooth built-up roof or a smooth modified roof. Today, the most common systems are acrylic, polyurethane, silicone, and PMMA. The bulk of the market is in the acrylic, polyurethane, and silicone. They have specific attributes. We don't really have the time to get through them today, but there's a reason to use one over the other on a specific building. And then I would say at the high end would be PMMA, which is a very tough product. You have to really need that to want to spend the kind of money for that. But for instance, you may want to use it on a concrete restoration. If you have some type of building structure that has a concrete deck, it's never had a roof, the concrete was the waterproofing. It's an excellent application to extend the life of the concrete and keep your building dry. So at any rate, any of these options, properly executed, are a great way to extend the life of your roof, restore the roof, and instead of running it to fail, pushing it out to that 25 or 30 year time frame, and at that point being able to go through the process again and maybe push out the life again. So you're not filling a landfill, you're not tearing off the roof, you're saving cost, and by also not having to tear off by code, oftentimes you don't have to code upgrade for insulation, so you're saving money there too. So there's a variety of things to look at, but it has to be executed properly. If you'd like to talk some more about it, let me know. My information's here in this post, and don't forget to follow me here on LinkedIn at #RolfSnobeck or #RolfTheRoofingGuy. Thanks for being with me today.